All right, family. God bless you. It's the time you've been waiting for. Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, today is World Mental Health Day. We're going to bring on a good friend of Senior Talks. We met over a couple of months ago, and we've been in the community hitting the ground, making sure that we bring the right information to you at the right time. Our friend today joining us is my friend, Mr. Jermaine Collins. He is uh, with D 24/7 DCT. What does that mean? 24/7 digital care team. Let me tell you, we're going to take all the disparities out. We're going to bring the knowledge to you because we're here to serve you. Everyone stay tuned. Tell your friends Senior Talk is live. We'll be right back after our most commercial opening on the other side. Everyone stay tuned. All right, family. As I mentioned, today is October the 10th. It is World Mental Health Day. And let me tell you, I want to first thank our friends at, I think it was Beth and, where did we meet at, Jermaine?
Bethel New Life.
Bethel New Life. That's right. Thank you. We were there doing our Live and Learn series, and he was introduced to me through one of the administrators there, and she said, "Girl, he is where you need to be. You need to bring him on board wherever you're going across the city and country." So here we are today, and I'm very excited for it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, are you wearing a little green today too?
I am wearing, yes, I am. It's in my shirt. That's our company 24/7.
All right, I got to go green, so I get a shirt in the future. I get a shirt in the future, but I decided to wear some form of green because that is the color of mental health.
Yes, I have them in green.
All right, fantastic. So let's do this. You are awesome. So let's do this. There are so many people and organizations. The term mental health has been not widely addressed in our communities and for many, many, many years. So let's first introduce who Jermaine Collins is, your experience, your expertise through 24/7 DCT, and then we're going to dive more into the element of why we're here today.
Okay. So as she said, my name is Jermaine Collins. I am one of the partners at 24/7 DCT. DCT came about 2.5 years ago. Actually, one of my partners was looking for mental health services for himself personally. He was out, he was looking for therapists. He had went to his doctor. They had gave him some referrals, and he was having a very hard time in terms of time of seeing a therapist. And what I mean by a very hard time, all of the therapists that he sought out that met the qualifications of what he was looking for, it was a 6-month or longer waiting period for him. So as we were talking about it, and he's looking for all these therapists, the waiting time was very extensive. So as we were all sitting there just kind of brainstorming one day in the office, I was saying to him, well, with mental health awareness, it needs to be more readily available to every single individual because these things are unexpected. When a person needs to speak with a counselor, and typically if they want to speak to a therapist or a counselor, it's not something that they planned out over a 6 or 7 month period. It's typically an emergency. So if they have no access to a therapist in their time of need, then most people will tend to shy away from even going back to talk to a therapist. So we came up with the format of making our company 24/7. That name stands for being accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to assist the people that need the services when they actually need them. So that's how we came up with the name 24/7 DCT.
All right. And so what is your skill level? What do you bring to the company? I mean, you've been in the community before 2 years. I mean, you got more than that kind of on your belt. Yes. So what level of experience do you bring to this organization?
Okay, so I've worked in the community. I have a background in financial services for the past 17 years. I actually started out in the medical lab space with them 3 years ago when COVID started. My expertise is I have a lot of access to the people that need these services. I'm in communication with a lot of directors of senior buildings, directors of nursing homes, principals at schools, a board of directors for Chicago public schools. So I have access to these individuals, and they're around a lot of the people that need the services that we offer. So that's where I kind of came into play. I wanted to make sure that the people in our communities were aware of what's accessible to them and the
Mm-hmm.
resources that are provided. So I make sure that I go to all of our senior buildings in the Chicagoland area, all of our nursing homes, our daycares, our schools, to let them know what they have access to and what's available to them. That's more of my role in the company because I like to talk. If you can't tell a little bit listening to this.
All right, all right. So let's go through this. We're looking currently. There's some of you going to be viewing this via your local channel, but let's go through this current flyer that we're looking at right now. This is on Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard live. We're looking on live stream through our internet station, our own platform. But let's talk about this flyer. When you use the term counseling for everyone, just dive into that because that's something that is untapped. And if you would just explain that on behalf of 24/7 DCT.
Okay, so counseling for everyone is exactly what it says. Our services begin at 15 months. A lot of places you'll go, they'll begin services in terms of therapy, counseling at about 6 years old. So we start at 15 months and we go all the way to whatever age. There's no age limit. We also try to cover all bases in terms of nationalities and people backgrounds and beliefs. We've partnered with several hundred therapists around the Chicagoland area that has a background in many different fields so that we can address every person that comes to our company and they want to seek out therapy. We have someone that fits their qualifications.
All right. Well, let's do this. We got a lot of more ground to cover, but there is something that we want to share with our listening and viewing audience. And it's just a message on behalf of the organization. Let's share that video right now. Everyone, stay tuned.
At 24/7 DCT Mental Health Matters. Hey, listen. Are people getting on your nerves? Have you recently lost a loved one? Feeling sad or lonely? Having negative or dark thoughts? Having trouble sleeping? Or just want to vent or talk to someone? You are not alone. 1 out of 5 Americans suffers from mental health issues. We are here to listen. Speaking to a counselor can do wonders for your emotional well-being. Whether you need to vent, discuss, or seek guidance, our doors at 24/7 DCT are open. We have 20 years of experience, bilingual counselors with diverse backgrounds, easy enrollment with no wait time, secure and confidential experience. And the best part, your health insurance covers all of our services. So why wait? We accept all major insurance providers, including Medicare and Medicaid. Currently, we are waiving copays and accepting new clients. Schedule your me time now by calling us at 800-33-TALK-DCT or go to our website www.247dct.org.
Nice. Nice. So as you're in the community, we're going to talk family to family. You know how we are just African Americans, let me just say it that way, or those of color are not even open to even counseling.
Very true.
How do you start the conversation to get us comfortable, because these services are much needed and it's not going away, it's increasing. That's why you can offer those services even as young as 15 months. That was kind of shocking. So I know you do kids and up, but tell us about why. How do you open up our eyes and ears to say, come and seek counseling? It's a benefit for you.
So it's just raising the awareness, especially in our communities. These are things that aren't talked about on the regular. Especially as I was growing up as a child, it was something that was kind of shunned upon. If you talked about counseling or getting therapy, if we're being very honest, people would look at you kind of be like, oh, what's wrong with this person? He's crazy. He's going to see a shrink or,
Right.
head doctor or whatever the case may be. And it's just it was a negative connotation in our community, whereas it was not talked about a lot. And how it was addressed. So now, as we speak about it, we speak about, receiving counseling and therapy in a more positive light. So as I go out to these centers, I talk to the individuals and I make sure that they understand. We always, like the pamphlet that you guys see on the screen, I hand those out, because a lot of individuals do not want to speak about their personal business, especially to a stranger. They don't know. So I provide the pamphlet that you see here, where they can scan, and I just talk to them about receiving it. Everybody always agree. One thing I will say, Clara, everywhere I go, everyone agrees that it's needed. Not for them themselves. They always say that, oh no, not me, but I know some other people that need it. So I just give them the flyer, say, hey man, it's a private thing. You don't have to say anything to me. You don't have to talk to anybody about it. Scan the QR code on the screen to get started. No one will know but you and the therapist, right? If you're not tech savvy, right? We have the phone number on the flyer for you as well, for you to call in. And we also have the website, right? We offer the services in many forms as well, Clara, to make people very comfortable. As 24/7 DCT digital care team, the biggest thing that I wanted to do in my role in the company was making sure that we could meet everyone where they were. Right. Everyone doesn't want to go out to the therapist's office or the counselor's office because they're not as comfortable there. So we offer the services digitally. So you can sit right in the comfort of your own home, on your couch, where you feel most secure, and do these things, right? And have a counseling session with the therapist. So this is what we're doing and what we're marketing. We're just providing the resource and just giving everybody an opportunity to know what's out there, because everyone is not telling them that these things are available to them.
Absolutely. So with this service, there has to be testimonies, because more times when we hear counseling, we think of it sometimes in a group session, but your sessions are confidential with that one particular person, which is great. So now we need to talk about the levels. Some people think, well, I don't need counseling. Well, if you are someone who has lost a loved one, if you're someone who is having trouble sleeping, there are certain things that keep you up at night. If you are someone that may have experienced anger management or are going through anger management, as well as domestic abuse. Hello. Ding, ding, ding. This is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Domestic abuse. Just that capacity of survivorship, as well as what is the next steps? How do I keep myself safe? You would want to talk to someone. Mm-hmm. So let's say someone calls the number 833 TLK DCT. Mm-hmm. Now they call the number. What is that process like? Because I'm a trusted source. Senior Talk is a trusted source, and is it people will know or have not? I vet my people. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: what is the experience? What does one do, or what should they expect when they call your office? Do I need any documents? Let's say I call you right now. Let's do a Q&A, or let's do a test call. So I call the phone number, and you say,
I would say, well, I'm not the person that answered the phone, but our representative would say, thank you for calling 24 DCT. How can I help you? And then the person would proceed to go on and say, hey, I'm seeking counseling service. I'm seeking a therapist. They will ask them some non-intrusive questions initially, just get some information from them: name, phone number, email address. We at our company, we do help you and allow you to choose a therapist. So there's many different things that goes into choosing someone that fits your needs. Some people are looking for a faith-based therapist, that's going to go more on a spiritual
Yeah.
level as they speak to them. And they may say that on the phone, hey, I'm looking for someone that it has a Christian background. Right. I want a therapist that has a Christian background. Well, we have
I
individuals
like
that specifically deals in that realm. And so they would, does it matter if it's male or female? They may say, hey, I want a Latino or a African American female Christian-based therapist. These are some of the questions that we ask you along the way so we can partner you with someone that's going to give you the best possible sessions, right? We're going to also find out how quickly you want to receive the services. Someone may call in and not need services right now immediately, right? So they say, oh, I would like to begin in 2 weeks, 2 Wednesdays from now. Right. So we're going to go through or she'll go through the process. She'll find a Christian based therapist with the Christian background that is available 2 Wednesdays from now at the time that you ask for. Now, if she's not available, of course, they'll give you other options. Oh, at this time, she's not available, but she is available at this time. So we do try to give you other resources, right? If you say, hey, I'm looking for someone right now, today, I need to speak to someone in the next 2 to 3 hours. So we're going to get that process started for you. There is information that they will ask you for that they will need forwarded over to them to begin the process, such as an ID. Insurance card, because we do accept all insurances, including Medicare and Medicaid, right? So we'll start that process and then we'll go from there. We'll get you an appointment schedule. We'll send out the information to your phone, to your email, and we will do follow-ups from our office leading up to that appointment to make sure that you're prepared and aware that you have the appointment at the time that you choose.
So how many sessions am I entitled to through my insurance? Is there a requirement, a start point, an ending point? Okay, Miss Hubbard, you've had 10 sessions. We'll see you in the next couple. What is that process like?
So it depending on the insurance company, they will allow you certain amount of sessions per week, right? So let's just say they offer you 2 sessions a week. So you can do 2 sessions a week with your therapist. You can have sessions every 2 times a week as you see fit. If the therapist feels that you need more, they can do a recommendation, which their recommendations are taken very seriously. So if they make a recommendation and say, hey, this person needs to increase from 1 or 2 times a week to 3 to 4 times a week, then they'll send that information in. We'll get that over to the insurance company and they will adjust accordingly.
Yes. So one of the things that I see that I really am passionate about is there's on your brochure, it says feeling lonely or sad. And I know we're leading into the holiday season. Hello, hello, hear me clearly. I know me personally, I probably need to call because I just I need to talk to someone. My vice through the holiday times is watching holiday movies. That's my feel good. That's my comfort keeper. In lieu of my loved ones not being here or those who've gone on, I have to watch holiday movies. I mean, I can start as early as tomorrow if need be. I'm a holiday person. That's my vice. But I have people around me like my husband and brother-in-law and cousins and so forth. But there are some people who are alone.
Yes.
And so I so am going to make an effort during the holiday season to keep seniors engaged as much as possible to let them know that they have someone. So I know you are not the one that does the counseling per se. You're in the community, but dealing with client relations, is there a percentage more so in your database, more of one age group or background than others?
So we focus again, as I said, on all, but I do as we began, because our seniors, they feel from working with them for the past 2 years, as it's kind of like they're left out. Everybody has gone on with their lives. They're living their lives, and they're kind of an afterthought. So
Mm-hmm.
I have making it my business to personally, because we have in the Chicagoland area, we have over 900 senior buildings. So I started on the south side of Chicago to make sure I reach out to all of those directors because I know they do suffer a little bit more than others. Not saying that other people don't, but they still have to deal with all of the other things that we have to deal with. And then we have to add on top of there that a lot of them are now in senior buildings, and they're not used to living in those type of spaces.
Right, right, right. That's
The
exactly right.
family doesn't call as much as they used to, or come by and see them as much as they used to. And I'll just give a story. I'll never tell a person's name, but one of the senior buildings I was in, we had a lady that was really dealing with loneliness. Her children, they're all still alive. They're all doing well. They all have families, but they don't call her and come by and see her for the holidays at all. And it really bothers her. So one day she was just sitting down in the room where we were in their community room, and she was just kind of talking, and I was just kind of letting her go, and I'll laugh when the laugh was due. But I was listening to her, and she kept on saying that it was okay. Oh, it's okay. It's no problem that they don't call me. I don't really care. It don't really bother me. But in all of her conversation, I can hear that it bothers her. Like everything
Yeah.
we talked about, you can hear in the tone of her voice and the look on her face, in her eyes, that this was something that truly bothered her. So she was a bit mean to individuals around the building,
Sure.
and that was the main reason why. We actually got her enrolled in some of our services, and I walked into the building maybe a month ago, month and a half ago. This lady gave me the biggest hug. She's never hugged me. I was very shocked. She gave me the biggest hug.
Yes.
He was like, man, thank you for the referral. She was like, I have been doing my sessions every week. I've been doing it 2 times. I just love my therapist. I feel like she's my best friend. I can call her on the phone right now and she'll talk to me. You want
Right.
to? No, I don't need to know all that. I
Yes.
need to
Yes.
know which therapist you have. That's your privacy and what you guys talk about. But she loved it because she had someone that she can reach out to and talk to on a weekly basis.
Sure. Sure.
And
Absolutely. I love it.
it was tremendous for her.
Well, let me say, I cheerlead for that, and that is so awesome to hear that testimony. And so, we got some ground to cover. Let's be very clear, because I was watching some months ago, Midsummer, and the previous U.S. Attorney General said that isolation is almost a disease.
It's a disease. They classified it as a disease maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Yes, yes.
It's
So
not good.
that's why we have to keep them engaged. And you were part of our Live and Learn series, and they were coming out of walls and just touching faces and hello, how you doing? We loving on you. And
Yep.
so I was very honored that we took that step, and we have some more ground to cover. So what about that stubborn person? Hello, hello. There are several. I like this broadcast. Y'all doing good. I see that, but that don't relate to me. I'm telling you, if you are in any kind of something and you came out of COVID alive, hello, Jesus.
Talk
You
about
need
it.
to talk to somebody. You need to talk to somebody. So, what's your comments on that? Because I know you said 2 years ago you were in the height of
Yes,
COVID when you
yes.
started this program. So, what has how did you all pull through, and where do we need to be going in the near future?
And that was, you made a very good point. You kind of stealing my thunder here, but that is a tremendous point you made as it relates to COVID. Everyone that's alive that has survived through COVID should take some type of accounts and say, we actually, y'all, I don't know if y'all realize how big a pandemic is. This is something that we had never heard or seen a actual pandemic in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are 60, 70 years old, 50 years old. We've never experienced anything like this. And for us to survive and be here today, what was going on? Guys, we were locked in our homes. We were locked in our homes for over a year. We could not go outside. We lost loved ones. There were funerals that were had and people could not attend. A lot of things transpired during COVID that affects us today. I highly encourage every single individual I don't care how well you think you're doing. I don't care how, I ain't gonna even say think. I don't care how well you're doing. I don't care how good you feel and how you go about your day. You should talk to someone about these things because there are things inside of us. And if you're doing this, it's tremendous that you're doing it. There are things that goes on inside of us that we cannot articulate and put into words on our own.
Yes, sir.
Right. This is why you should talk to a therapist, because some of the feelings and things that you have inside, you can't explain that. Right. We mask it. And I'm just going to speak for my community, because this is the only community I grew up in. We are tremendous maskers. Oh, we know how to we've been masking for hundreds of years.
What they say,
the hurt and pain inside of us, we've learned how to mask it. So to us, these things are normal. Let me tell you, they're not.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me say this. You're going to have me spinning out this chair, but you just touched on something that is so critical. We could stay on one topic alone. Caregivers alone is a dynamic across this country. There are well over 67 million caregivers across this country. 1 in 5 is a male. Hello.
Yes.
Caregivers. This, oh my goodness, this is a branch for you. This is what I use the term. I was with my sister last week, the Associate State Director from ARP, Shartar Robinson. We talked about it. Caregiving. Sometimes you have to take your reprieve to get yourself restored, to come back to your family. It's called respite.
Yes.
It's something that you're entitled to. And so if we just went on caregivers alone, because you got to get that energy out. You got to get those emotions out. And
who do you talk to? Caregiver. Everybody puts everything on you. Plus you have your own family and things that you're dealing with. And you take on the responsibility. And let me tell you, your services are so tremendous and they are needed. You are truly appreciated. If no one ever tells you, I will tell you how appreciated and needed caregivers are.
Yes.
So I will give you your flowers on here today. That is not an easy job.
Yes, sir. So so we got a few more minutes. You know, we're gonna have to make this a on-site or live presentation, because we want to do something with some Q&A. I know it's coming up. We can get that done. But let me ask you this. You serve multiple states. You're not just in Illinois. Tell us about your expansion. 2 years, you have rocked and rolled. You have put some footwork down in many states. So tell us how people can find you.
We're also on our website again, www.247dct.org. We're in the state of Texas. We're in the state of Ohio. We're in the state of Florida. We're in Illinois. We should be licensed here in the state of Indiana in less than 60 days.
Call me. Yeah.
I for sure, we've talked about that. At Wisconsin. So we're actually licensed in 7 different states. Every one of those states, you can scan that QR code. We're going to make sure we touch all of the facilities around the city and the surrounding states to make sure that 24/7 DCT is the #1 mental health awareness company in the next year, because we're going to beat the grounds ourselves and make sure that the individuals know what's available to them.
Wow. So let me say, it has been fruitful. We got some work to do. I know we're going to talk afterwards, because our heads are spinning, because we have work. There are many outlets. The faith-based community. Hello. Give us a call. Social clubs. Give us a call. The pink hat, the red hat, the veterans post. Give us a call.
Definitely the veterans. I'm gonna touch on that. If we do have any veterans on here, we definitely specialize in helping veterans with our program receive the Nexus letter. So if we have any veterans on here that is seeking out getting a Nexus letter completed, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're helping several veterans go through the process and help them in terms of receiving those letters so that their benefits can start back up. And this is a lot of our seniors that are not receiving benefits, and they were in the VA because they haven't completed the necessary psychological evaluation to get the Nexus letter. So we also are doing that.
Well, yeah, we're gonna take care of that because I work with 18 posts, so we got some room to cover.
Mhm.
That's a no-brainer. So let me say this, Jermaine Collins. I don't care what they say about you. You are right with me.
Oh, thank
You
you.
have given
Hopefully they're saying good things.
thoroughly. You are very empathy. You have empathy, and you're very passionate about this. And more importantly, it is something that we are entitled to.
Mhm.
So if you have any questions, and I always tell people, sometimes I do forget, if you have a question or comment, if you need this flyer sent to your church, block club, or whatever you're listening or tuning in, please call our Senior Talk office at 312-428-6919. Or you can also do me a favor and send an email to seniortalk@gmail.com. So again, everyone, our special guest today was Mr. Jermaine Collins, Client Relations for 24/7 DCT, Digital Care Team. They are your mental health counselors, and they're here to serve you. The number again is 833-TALK, TALK, .DCT. Couples, families, children, loved ones, nursing homes, you name it. It's counseling for everyone, and they're here to serve you. So, I am Claire Hubbard, your granddaughter in the community. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Woo! I can't. I'm so excited. We got much room to cover, and
Yes.
we look forward to serving you in the near future. As we say in closing, in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us.
Yes.
Don't let your eyes deceive you. We'll see you next time for Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard. Everyone, take care.